what do you think of this Washington defense in particular? Kyle called it a top 5 defense. How big of a test is it for the 49ers?
It didn't look great the other night. Montez Sweat is a force. So he's the guy you got to worry about. Mississippi State edge rusher, 6'5", 260, flies off the edge. He's terrific. So Montez Sweat is a major force for them. And they've got some other guys on defense. Obviously Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. They're a big time defense on paper. Bobby McClain was their leading tackler the other night. He had 11 tackles. So Cameron Curl's not a bad safety, but I think you can pick on him in coverage. I think their defense actually looked better the last couple of years than it looks this year. But it's a solid defense with a really, really talented front line for sure.
Yeah, it just seems like, they're giving up, 20 points per game? This is maybe the biggest test that Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense is going to face before the playoffs. It's not a playoff team per se. It might be, but it seems like a playoff defense with big, strong defensive linemen and, starting there. The one area of the Niners team that isn't as strong as it should be is the offensive line. And I wonder if Washington can at least, if they win the trenches, what is that? That's going to make things tough on Brock Purdy. He's going to put him in a position he hasn't been in yet.
I know, and it is a really good defensive line. Deron Payne's big and athletic. John Ridgway was the Arkansas kid that Dallas took, and then I think somehow Washington grabbed him off Dallas's practice squad. They call him the Vanilla Gorilla. He's just a monster. He's a monster against the run, and I think he's starting right now. And then you got Montez Sweat, and you got Jonathan Allen. And I would say Allen and Sweat are probably the best players on that front. Chase Young is not playing, right? I think
he might come back this week. Kyle was asked about it, and he was like, "I really hope he's smart and takes one more week to come back.
Exactly.
Possibly comes back." Yeah,
because Chase Young's a beast. Chase Young's as good as it gets too. So that would be a difference maker if you have Sweat and Chase Young. So to me, I see them as being dangerous on the other side of the ball as well because Jahan Dotson has got great ball skills for a rookie. And they've got Terry McLaurin and then Curtis Samuel in the slot when they go 3 wides. And then their big back from Bama, Brian Robinson, who got shot earlier this year. He's just a horse. I don't know if you saw some of those carries against the G-men, but he's just carrying guys 4 or 5 yards. He averaged 7.5 yards a carry last week. So
was he available when the Niners drafted Ty Davis Price?
I think he was. I think he was a 3rd-round pick.
And I know they brought him in for a visit. Maybe they should have taken him.
He seems like he
fits. Seems like he fits the style that the Niners are trying to have on offense.
He's a horse, man. He's 6'1", 230, and he runs hard. And he can break
like Jordan
tackles.
Mason or bigger.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm not really even talking about Washington's offense because I really don't think a team led by Taylor Heineke is going to put up more than 13 points against this team, this defense. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, I do. I think. If you told me that Washington got one more score and creeped over that, maybe, but they're not going to they're not going to score in the mid-20s or 30s or anything like that. This is going to be a I like the 49ers to win this game comfortably. I think 49ers will score 24 to 28 points, maybe a little bit more, and I think Washington will probably score 17 or less. I think it's going to be maybe a 10-point victory, something like that.
Who do you think is going to be the guy on offense who steps up, with Debo out? Last week it was Kittle.
Yeah, last week it was definitely Kittle with the 2 touchdowns. I think Jawan Jennings is clearly the guy that's kind of the trusted guy. They go to him on just big plays. I thought that.
I wish they'd go to him more.
I know.
Not just the big plays.
Yeah, they targeted him 5 times last week. He caught 3 of the 5 balls. So, I like Jennings. Jennings will attack the ball. He's got ball skills. He's aggressive. He's big. He's not gonna give you that chunk yardage play usually, but he's so reliable. That 3rd and 7 from their own 4-yard line in the second half when Brock hit him with a strike. That was one of the best plays of the game.
I'd like to see Brandon Ayuk step up too. Not that he hasn't stepped up, but I'd like to see him have a big-time statement game where he goes for 150 and 2 touchdowns. I think it's in him, and I think that he doesn't get the opportunities because they run the ball so much, but I'd like to see him do it. It would be a nice statement to make before the playoffs start.
Yeah, I mean, they ran it 34 times last week, so he only got 4 targets. I'd like to see them double him, get twice as many targets. I mean, he should be getting 8 to 10 targets a game for the way he's playing right now.
Yeah,
So
and Jennings
that's
should
what I'd
get
like
5
to
to
see.
7. I agree with that.
I also like Ray McLeod, and even I know Danny Gray's a little dinged up, and I don't know what his status is going to be for this game, but I'd like to see in the last month McLeod and Gray get targeted a little bit just to make teams cognizant of the Niners' big time speed, their speed threats.